Today we're going to be reading Gloop the Alien Cat by me. Many months later, Jack walked into the garden. The farm is where Jack and his family live. The farm was full of animals, vegetables, tools, and everything. Jack's dad is the boss of his own farm. He tells his son Jack to help him around the farm. Jack's dad told Jack to pull out the carrots for the rabbits. Jack began to pull a carrot out from the ground. As soon as he pulled out the carrot, he realized that the carrot wasn't ready to be fully grown, to be pulled out. It was very thin. "That one isn't ready yet, Jack," said Dad crossly. "Sorry, wrong one," said Jack. Jack pulled out the different carrot, if it's the right one, as it's not too skinny and maybe fully grown. As he began to pull and pull and pull until he found the right carrot, the fully grown carrot. Jack's dad came out to see what his son is up to by pulling many, many carrots. He was proud with Jack. "I did it!" cried Jack. "Good job, my son," said Dad. "You're going to pull out more carrots." "More carrots?" said Jack. "But, Dad—" "No buts. Do as you're told," said Dad. Jack isn't happy that his dad kept telling him to do chores at the farm. Next, he was pushing the wheelbarrow full of yellow hay for the horses. Then the wheelbarrow got stuck in the little hole, and he tried to lift it out. "Farming is a lot of hard work," said Jack. His dad came by to help his son to unstuck the wheelbarrow. Then he got it out. Next, Jack was carrying a huge bag of seeds to feed the chickens. "Don't give the chickens too much seed," said Dad. Jack didn't like doing all the hard work in the farm. He poured so much seeds, and the chickens came out of the pen and ate them. "I'm tired of doing farming stuff," snarled Jack. Then he bought some dog food and drink for his dog, Fangs. Fangs growled at Jack. "Good boy," Jack said to Fangs. Then Jack began to milk the cows. Jack milked Becky the cow. She stood calmly. She liked getting milked by her owners. "Moo," said Becky. "Easy, girl." Becky stood still while Jack was milking her. Suddenly a little mouse ran quickly in front of the cow. Becky looked at the mouse and she freaked out. She spilled a bucket of milk where Jack squirting milk in. The mouse ran away from the panicking female cow. "Get out of the farm, mouse!" shouted Jack. Becky, calm down, girl." Becky calmed down. She hated mice. "Oh no," said Jack, looking at the spilt milk on the grass. "Dad's going to get cross with me." Suddenly Dad came by and he was very angry with Jack. "You spilt milk all over the grass," shouted Dad. "You are grounded." Jack gasped. "But it wasn't my fault," spluttered Jack. "No buts," shouted Dad. "Now you're going to do lots of work all week." "I'm not doing all the work, and you're not my father," shouted Jack, as he stormed into the farmhouse and stormed into his room. "I hate this farm," shouted Jack. That night, Jack was sleeping. That night, Jack was sleeping. Suddenly, he heard something from outside. He looked out the window and saw something falling across the sky and crashed onto the ground. Jack snuck outside the farmhouse and ran into the forest and saw a spaceship on the ground. Until a little alien cat was in there and began to speak. "Hello, human," said the alien cat. Jack gasped and spoke nervously to the alien cat. "Hello," he said. "I'm Jack. Who are you?" "I'm Gloop," said Gloop. Gloop got out of the ship and walked closer to Jack. Jack has never seen a cat from outer space before. I saw your spaceship flying down to Earth and you crash-landed into the forest," said Jack. "How did you come to Earth?" "That is an excellent question," said Gloop. "I flew down to Earth because the black hole destroyed my home." Jack felt sorry for Gloop that his home got destroyed, so he made a decision. "Why don't you come to my farmhouse?" said Jack. "And it could be your new home on Earth." "That's a great idea," said Gloop, the alien cat. Jack came back home with Gloop and fell asleep. The next morning, Jack came out to do some more work. He picked up um, a bag of radishes and gave them to the pigs. Gloop used his telepathic powers to lift the radish. The piglet jumped up and ate it. Just then, Jack's mum came out to see what Jack's up to. She's going to watch Jack feed the animals some breakfast. Morning, Jack, she said. Morning, Mum, said Jack. Just doing some farm work around here. That's my boy, said Mum. Mum sat on the bench. Gloop reappeared. You've never told me that you've just disappeared, said Jack. It's my invisibility power, said Gloop. I usually turn invisible so that other people can't see me or find me. That night, Jack and Gloop snuck out of the house to go on another adventure at night. Until they saw a shooting star flying across the sky. They began to discover it. Suddenly, they saw a space rock on the ground. Gloop recognized the space rock that came from the black hole that destroyed his home. A space rock? Said Jack. Where did that come from? Gloop tapped on Jack's shoulder and they saw claw marks on trees, and trees had been cut down by some kind of creature. Jack turned on the torch. Then they saw something shadowy, tall, and scary. Shadow Morph, yelled Gloop. Both Jack and Gloop ran from the Shadow Morph as it crawled fast with its long, sharp claws and glowing red eyes and dark, shadowy black body. Back at the farm! Back at the farm! Cried Jack. The Shadow Morph was cutting down trees with his claws. Suddenly Jack bumped into his dad, and Gloop turned invisible. Dad was cross. What are you doing out there in the middle of the night? He asked crossly. The Shadow Morph is after me, cried Jack. Shadow Morph? Said Dad. I see no Shadow Morph. Don't lie to me, Jack. Go back to your room. Jack felt left out. He was trying to tell the truth that he was almost attacked by the Shadow Morph. Jack went back into bed. Suddenly, the bucket got knocked off the shelf by Gloop being invisible. Gloop reappeared in front of Jack. Gloop, said Jack. Try and stay quiet. My parents will hear you and they'll double ground me. I'm so sorry, Jack, said Gloop. We need to think of a plan to unground you for a week. That's a great idea, said Jack. Jack and Gloop were thinking of a plan to unground Jack. They were making creepy alien shadows. Then suddenly Dad came into the room. Now, whispered Jack. The light shined bright until the terrifying alien shadows rose. Dad was scared. Ah! Real aliens! Yelled Dad, and he ran away. The next day, Jack's dad told Mum that he saw real aliens in Jack's bedroom. Creepy real aliens, he spluttered to Mum. Trying to take my soul. Don't be silly, said Mum. There's no such thing as aliens. No, it's true. I saw aliens last night, cried Dad. Well, I have no time to chat with you. I have work to do, said Mum. Mum started to push the wheelbarrow full of hay. Dad began to grow some plants with a heavy watering can. He saw Jack watering the plants too. That's my boy, said Dad. Why don't you water all of the other plants? Yes, Dad, said Jack. Gloop looked around the farm until he saw a doghouse, and Fangs is sleeping in it. That's a nice doghouse, he said. But just as he came inside the doghouse, Fangs woke up and growled at Gloop, the alien cat. Gloop was scared. He ran away from Fangs, and Fangs ran after him, barking and growling. They ran past the chickens. The chickens were frightened. The feathers and the feathers were flying everywhere. They splashed into the pond. The duck was scared. Gloop climbed up the tree. Fangs kept barking and barking and barking. Suddenly, Gloop used his powers to hypnotize Fangs the dog. Fangs stood still and stopped barking. Gloop leapt down the tree. All of the barking noise has given me a headache, said Gloop. Now sit. Fangs sat down. Now go back to the doghouse, said Gloop. Fangs got back to his doghouse and lied down. Good boy, said Gloop. Gloop climbed on top of the dog roof. Since Dad came to the doghouse, who's a good boy? Fangs, said Dad. Who's a good boy? Fangs woke up to see Dad until he saw Gloop on the roof and growled at him. And Dad saw Gloop. Hello, Jack's father, said Gloop. You can talk, spluttered Dad. Yes, I can talk, said Gloop. My name's Gloop. So you're an alien cat, said Dad. I knew aliens are real. Jack came by to see Gloop and Dad. Hi, Gloop. Hi, Dad, said Jack. What are you guys doing here? We're just having a chat with each other, Jack, said Gloop. Jack, where did this alien cat uh, Jack, where did this alien cat thing come from? Asked Dad. Dad, I can explain, said Jack. When I walked into the forest at night, I saw a broken spaceship in the middle of the forest until I saw Gloop in the spaceship, and he told me that his home is destroyed by a black hole, so he needs a new home, which is our home. Why did you go outside at night? Asked Dad. Because I wanted to see a shooting star. It was flying so low and it crashed into the ground, said Jack. You know you are still grounded, shouted Dad. You can't go outside the farm. Suddenly Gloop stood bravely and began to jump on to Jack's dad. Leave my friend alone, he yelled at Jack's dad. Get your dirty paws off me, you filthy beast, snapped Dad. Gloop was furious and he electrocuted Jack's father. Dad got up very crossly. That's it, shouted Dad. I'm calling the exterminator. Jack and Gloop gasped and they ran back into the house, straight into the bedroom, until they looked out the window. Gloop was too scared to be exterminated. Jack was too scared to lose Gloop. Until Jack had an idea. Why don't you scare the exterminators with your powers, Gloop? He said to Gloop. How? Asked Gloop, shaking like a leaf. Just then the exterminator came by to discover what alien is in the farm. He looked everywhere. Hurry up, said Dad. I'm trying to look for an alien that is invading your farm, said the exterminator. Be patient and be calm. Suddenly the exterminator saw some paw prints that are leading to the farmhouse. Just as just as just as the exterminator looked around the house for an alien lurking in the house, from out from under the bed, a giant alien cat growled at the exterminator. Nice kitty, spluttered the exterminator, and he began to run away from Gloop. Gloop shrunk into a normal size. He couldn't believe that he scared the exterminator. Well done, Gloop, said Jack. You've scared away the exterminator. Good job. Gloop was so happy his plan worked very well. That alien cat scared the exterminator, said Dad. It was only a small cat. Dad began to faint. Jack and Gloop came out and saw Dad fainted. Gloop used his powers to lift him up into the parents' bedroom. Sweet dreams, said Jack. That night, the shadow morph crept into the parents' room and slid under the bed and then slid out from under the parents' bed and reached for Dad, sleeping. Suddenly, the shadow morph dragged the covers off and dragged Dad off the bed. Ah! Yelled Dad. Help me! Jack and Gloop woke up as they heard Dad screaming for help. It's Dad, said Jack. Jack and Gloop ran outside and saw the shadow morph on the roof. And yes, Dad. Gloop grew big and Jack hopped on at him and rode straight into the forest to chase after the creature who took Jack's father. Where did I go? Said Gloop. Dad, cried Jack. The shadow morph disappeared with your dad, said Gloop. That creature is fast. Both Jack and Gloop tried to find Dad, who got taken by the shadow morph. Just then, they found Dad tied up on the branch above the bear trap. Dad, cried Jack. Jack, cried Dad, I'm so happy to see you, son. And you, Gloop. How did you get up there? Asked Jack. Long story, said Dad. Hurry up and untie me down. But first we need to move that big bear trap, said Jack. As soon as Jack began to move the bear trap, the man with the goggles came by. It was the exterminator. Hello there, he said. It's the exterminator, said Gloop. Oh, so you can talk, said the exterminator. I guess I'll tie you two on the branch with your dad. You leave Gloop and my father alone, shouted Jack bravely. He's my friend. You can't be friends with an alien cat, snarled the exterminator. Well, his own home got destroyed by the black hole, said Jack. I'm pretty sure I don't care, said the exterminator. I just want to destroy every creature in the world and space. Suddenly, the exterminator pulled out a gun with a toxic bullet pin in it. As soon as he was going to shoot Gloop, Gloop shot lasers at the bullet and the gun. Suddenly the exterminator got really angry. Filthy beast! He screamed, and he suddenly was about to transform into the Shadow Morph. Jack, Gloop, and Dad gasped. "Oh my goodness!" gasped Gloop. "You've just turned into the Shadow Morph," gasped Jack. The Shadow Morph began to spoke. "Yes, I did. I was not the exterminator," he said. "I was the space agent to destroy every alien that's in the galaxy." "That's not true," said Gloop. "We saw you. You were the exterminator." "Yes, that alien cat tried to attack me," said the Shadow Morph. "So now I'll kill you two and your father." Jack stood bravely to the creature. "You and what army?" he snapped bravely. The Shadow Morph snapped his fingers, and the army of the Shadow Morphs came to surround Jack, Gloop, and Dad. They gasped. "Oh, that army," said Gloop. Jack and Gloop ran away from the Shadow Morphs. Jack, Gloop ran faster, and the Shadow Morphs ran even faster. "These creatures are incredibly fast," said Jack. "And we will turn you two into Shadow Morphs and destroy Earth at full moon tonight," snarled the Shadow Morph. Jack and Gloop stopped and stood bravely until Gloop electrocuted the Shadow Morph, and then more came by, and Gloop began to use his incredible powers. He used eye laser, telepactic powers, and roar explosion. "Fine," snarled the Shadow Morph. "I'll do everything myself." The Shadow Morph tried to scratch both Jack and Gloop, but they dodged it. "I will destroy Earth," shouted the Shadow Morph. "Any last words?" "I'm pretty sure you're going to get sunburn," said Gloop. The sun began to rose up, and it began to burn the creature's arms. "No!" cried the Shadow Morph. The creature began to burn and transform back into the space agent exterminator. "Didn't you know that?" said Jack. "Shadow Morphs are allergic to sunlight." Jack untied his dad, and Gloop moved the bear trap. "Thanks for saving me, son," said Dad. Jack, Gloop, and Dad went back to the farm with the exterminator. Mum was waiting. "You brought back the exterminator?" said Mum. "I'm afraid he wasn't actually the real exterminator," said Jack. "He turned out to be the monstrous Shadow Morph." Mum gasped. Just then the police arrived. "Exterminator," the police said, "you are under arrest." The police took the exterminator into the police car and drove him to jail. "Congratulations," said Mum. "You saved Dad, you two. You two are my heroes," cried Dad. "Thank you." "Can I stay here?" asked Gloop. Dad scratched his head. "Yes," he said. "Yippee!" cried Gloop. "Thank you. I'm pretty sure I can help you all do the work, and I'll be your best pet ever." "Of course you can," said Jack. "You have the most incredible superpowers you've got." The next day, the family were busy doing work. Gloop was carrying a cart of hay to the horse. Everyone did their great job. The end. Okay, so I finished my story, so yeah. So that's the end of the story. So, anyways, guys, thank you for watching this video. Need a break. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, if you want to do some more story videos that I just made up, just don't forget to click the like button as hard as you can and subscribe, and also let me know in the comments what is your favorite, or what do you like about this story. Is it going to be like just any, yeah. And of course, let me know in the comments what do you like about the story. I'll see you guys in the comment section, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.